Born in Espoo, Finland, where they drink vodka more than they speak. And knowing Kimi, that's probably not hard to believe.
The new car?
I don't know.
Kimi, what happened?
I spun. Yeah, I was having a
From the start, Kimi Raikkonen was unlike most F1 drivers. He didn't come from a wealthy family. Quite the opposite. His father worked 3 jobs, road builder by day and taxi driver and club bouncer by night. And they lived in quite a small house. Kimi Raikkonen picked up karting at the age of 10 and picked up multiple wins in mini and junior series. He was second overall in the Finnish Cup in 1994, and his first time racing outside of Finland was at age 15. Besides karting, he competed in the Euro Formula 4 Championship, and he also won the 1999 Formula Renault UK Winter Championship, and he also won the 2000 Formula Renault UK Championship. It's important to know that Kimi was such a good talent at a young age. Sauber gave Kimi an opportunity to test in the 2000 season. The opportunity came at Mugello, and in day 2, he was already lapping half a second quicker than Pedro Diniz, the full-time driver for Sauber. It didn't take long for Sauber to know they had a special talent in their hand, but they didn't want to put light onto him, so no other team can steal him. So they kept him on a low and gave him the nickname Eskimo. Kimi was given 2 more tests in Jerez and Barcelona, and that was enough for Sauber. They signed him. But on the other hand, the FIA wasn't so convinced. After all, Kimi Raikkonen only had 23 races in the big leagues, but in the end they granted him his super license. Before his debut in Melbourne, he was asleep just 30 minutes before the start of the race, but he still went on and scored points on his debut, and he had a very solid season. He had himself 4 points finishes and 8 finishes in the top 8. That attracted the attention of 2 other big teams, Ferrari and McLaren. And since McLaren already had a retiring Mika Hakkinen, they decided to replace a Finn with a Finn. In his first season with McLaren, it was a Ferrari dominance by Schumacher. But Kimi still managed to get 4 podiums. But his next season was much better. He scored 10 podiums and he beat his teammate Montoya and only finished 2 points behind the eventual champion Schumacher. But when everything was seemingly going very good for Kimi, 2004 didn't go quite as well for him. He had 8 retirements and only 1 win that came in Spa. In 2005, McLaren was clearly the fastest car on the grid. But unlucky for Kimi, they had reliability issues. A lot of them. But despite that, he gave us one of the most legendary races in F1 history, Suzuka 2005. Although he started the race in 17th, which he was smiling about, Kimi showed a phenomenal display. McLaren needed every point they could get in that race to compete for the Constructors title, but Montoya didn't seem to care, crashing. Kimi, on the other hand, started overtaking drivers one by one until he overtook the leader of the race, Giancarlo Fisichella, in one of the best overtakes I've ever seen. The onboard of Kimi Raikkonen's car is just a masterpiece. You have to go and watch it yourself. In 2006 season, McLaren didn't have a competing car. It was actually Alonso versus Schumacher the whole season. But in the Italian Grand Prix, Ferrari announced that they were signing Kimi Raikkonen. And in his first race with Scuderia, he got the pole position, the fastest lap, and most importantly, he got the win, becoming the first Ferrari driver to win in his debut since Nigel Mansell. The 2007 season was an exciting one. McLaren had Alonso and a rookie Hamilton who will go on to put the best rookie season in Formula 1 history. By the 7th round of the season, Kimi Raikkonen was 27 points behind Hamilton, but winning France, followed by winning Silverstone, closed the gap to just 18 points with Hamilton. And despite failing to finish his next race, he will get a podium in each and every race till the end of the season. But that wasn't enough, right? I mean, Hamilton had 12-point gap going into the last 2 races of the season. There's no way he'll blow it up. But well, we already know what happened. Tires losing grip in one race and the gearbox failure in the next one handed Kimi Raikkonen his first and only championship in Formula 1. He won that title just 1 point ahead of Hamilton and Alonso, adding another name to Finland's long list of Formula 1 champions. Although he was coming off a championship in 2008, Felipe Massa was better and faster than him. In 2009, with the drastic regulation changes, Ferrari failed to make a competing car. Although they picked up the pace at the end of the season, with Kimi managing to get a win in Spa, a P2 and 3 P3s in a row. And although Kimi Raikkonen still was contracted for the 2010 season, he parts ways with Ferrari. And with Ferrari signing Alonso, there were rumors that he was going back to McLaren. But well, that didn't happen, and he ended up driving in the World Rally Championship. And he also tried his luck in NASCAR, which didn't end up very well. On the rally side, he was a little bit more successful, but nothing to write home about. And well, with his winning mentality, he came back to Formula One to drive with Lotus. And the 2012 season, despite Vettel being the one that won the championship, Kimi could be argued to be the second biggest winner of that season. He proved everyone wrong. He still had it. He still was a very good driver. And that was shown when he won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and also with a P3 in the standings. He also kicked 2013 very good with a fastest lap and a win in Melbourne, and finished second like a gazillion times that season. But he had a lot of issues with the team. I mean, allegedly, they promised him $500,000 for every point he scores, which totaled up to $19.5 million by the end of the season. And according to Kimi Raikkonen, they didn't held the end of the agreement and they didn't pay him. That, alongside a lot of other issues, like the team wanting Kimi Raikkonen to take a second position driver to Roman Grosjean. So Kimi Raikkonen returned to Ferrari, teaming up with Fernando Alonso. And well, when you have these two drivers and you don't do anything, you gotta know that the car was shit. I mean, even when they got Vettel into the mix, they still didn't do anything. He'll leave Ferrari in 2018 and go back to where it all started, to Sauber, which now was known as Alfa Romeo. But of course, it's not a car you'd compete in, so he'd retire in the end of the 2021 season. By all aspects, Kimi Raikkonen is unlike any Formula 1 driver. I mean, his personality is quite different. By his second day ever in Formula 1, he was faster than the main driver of a Formula 1 team. He never shied away, and despite the odds being stacked against him multiple times, especially at the start of his career, he managed to overtake them. That's what makes Kimi Raikkonen a true legend. But you know what makes you a legend? If you go down and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next one.